Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Chilling in RI, and today's video is going to be a little bit different as it's not going to be just entertainment. Now, I'm no expert or fancy big city lawyer, but today I will argue that the supposed backlash to quote-unquote DEI and wokeness in gaming is nothing but a farce. Now, this faux outrage to women and people of color in games, which is exactly what this really is, nothing really new or special. Sort of like Avowed is nothing really new or special. It is just the latest victim in a long line of victims in a culture war narrative that really makes no sense for gamers at all. Now, I love art as much as I love gaming because to me, games are a form of art. So to see it used as a tool for the culture war just makes me cringe. Because as far back as I can remember, gamers have always been the outcasts, the downtrodden, people who were referred to as basement dwellers originally, something that we now appropriately use for scummy internet trolls. Avowed is the latest game to be targeted by the Go Woke Go Broke narrative. The narrative of which being that somehow the representation of women, people of color, and the LGBTQ community is a betrayal to the gaming community at large. Much the contrary, gaming has had a rich history of diversity from as far back as the first Mortal Kombat to literally Dungeons and Dragons. And in fact, many fans of Dungeons and Dragons are fans because they feel represented and they feel that they can represent themselves truly without feeling judged by anyone around them. Yaxley, for instance, is the risque character who really fits well into the trope of the risque female character. A much more risque character would be Ryoko from the anime Tenchi Muyo. She is a lewd, crude space pirate with attitude, and that was done 30 years ago. You could also look at Kai, your companion, who happens to be a gay man. That only comes up in his side quest about unrequited love, but that's because it's character building. His story is different than Yaxley's backstory, is different than your backstory, because that's just how people are in real life too. Their stories are all different, they're not all the same. Now, you could compare him to Arcade Gannon, another gay companion who happens to be from Fallout New Vegas, but no one's talking about that because Fallout New Vegas made money. But at the end of the day, video games are made by corporations. Corporations want money, and the best way to get money is to appeal to as many people as possible to buy your games. And gaming has always been an incredibly inclusive space, from people who are blind, deaf, mute, to people who may be missing digits, to people who may be missing entire limbs. At the end of the day, many gamers are fans of games because they feel represented by the characters in that game. So to try and strip that away is to do a major disservice to the gaming community. They tried to use the same narrative about Baldur's Gate 3, but that narrative didn't catch on because the game was wildly successful and popular. At the end of the day, a lot of this anti-woke, anti-DEI rhetoric just seems to be like edgy engagement farming. But like I said, that's just my 2 cents on the matter. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Give me a like, hit the subscribe button. Thanks, and have a good one.